The lifestyle of the rich and famous, yachting around and whipping supercars, that's living the ideal lifestyle, right? You'd be lying if that wasn't your goal. Well, what if I told you that you could fool your friends into thinking that you're punching way above your tax bracket? In this video, I'm gonna show you 10 of the best cheap cars that make you look rich. Let's go. And real quick, there's nothing like a little Huracan Performante V10 in the morning. Okay, if you've ever imagined yourself turning heads in a jaw-dropping supercar, you are in the right place. Sign up. Sign up for the Ideal Collective. Right now, it is completely free, and I've linked to it in the pinned first comment down below. And just by signing up, you'll be the first to know about the Ideal Car giveaway. Spots are limited, so sign up today. Again, it's in the pinned first comment, and now, back to the show. Let's start off this list with the most expensive supercar and work our way down to cars that cost less than a motorcycle. So let's start off with a car that is pretty much the definition of a wannabe millionaire. And let me introduce to you the Aston Martin Vantage. And so, just so you know, I've linked to all these Ideal cars in the description so you can check them out on Auto Tempest. Now, if the Vantage doesn't look like $1 million, then I don't know what can. The engineers in Aston Martin sculpted the aluminum into a timeless shape fit for a museum. Just look at that thing. But Aston Martin paired the Vantage with a roaring V8 fit for the racetrack. Just listen to it. You got your eyes, you got your ears, your nose, and your belly. I mean, it tickles all your senses, but just don't taste it.
That is fucking disgusting.
Take it out for a night on the town and you're sure to have the valet moving Raris and Rovers for your spot up front. The Vantage trumps almost anything on the road today. So I bet you're expecting to pay 50, maybe even 100K for this thing. But thanks to our good old friend depreciation, the Vantage has depreciated nearly 70% from its original base price, which is great news for you and me because we can get a stellar deal on a supercar for just 35 grand. And you step out of a Vantage and you won't only feel like $1 million, but you'll look like it too. And that's the name of the game, especially if you're wearing some Ideal swag, which this limited edition, brand new, Save the Manuals tee is available right now. And you'll feel like $1 bazillion wearing that, plus the 5 extra horsepower. But what if you want to feel like $1 million in a different brand that starts with a B? Not Brad Danger, but Bentley and the Continental GT. Bentley has been around for generations, hand-stitching leather and stuffing baby Bugatti engines into its shell. And while the Continental GT might not be a supercar, it sure carries a stigma, one that the driver must be making millions to own. But I'll let you in on just a little secret. A beautiful Bentley Continental GT isn't millions or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But the Continental GT sure does drive like it. But driving dynamics aside, the interior, that is where it's at. And that's where your ass is because, well, there's an ass for every seat. And the Continental GT is where your ass should be because Bentley focuses on the interior. To prove that, they offered the Continental GT in your choice of just 5 exterior colors, but it was offered with 8 interior. So if that doesn't tell you where their focus is, well, I don't know what does. The Continental GT was responsible in rising sales for the Bentley brand, taking Bentley from a small, niche car maker into a more well-known mass market brand that now sells over 14,000 cars a year. And for good reason too. If you look back at the mid-2000s, every single celebrity had their own Continental GT. Many have updated and upgraded to newer models, but I'll let you in on another little secret. Bentley didn't change the Continental GT from 2003 all the way up until 2011. So just go out and buy yourself one for 34 grand. And yes, I hear some of you don't have 34 grand, heck, you don't even have 30, so why not look at a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow instead? Sure, it's gonna be a little bit older than the other cars on this list, but it's a freaking Rolls-Royce, the pinnacle of luxury. Whenever you roll up, you're gonna look like $1 million, but you probably won't wanna get out of your Rolls because it's one of the nicest cars on the road. Not only will a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow look stately in your driveway, it will drive that way too. But if you got a Silver Shadow, you might as well get yourself a driver as well. Heck, I'll be your driver. Just hit me up in the comments below. Because you'll want to be driven around in order to enjoy your Rolls to the fullest. Riding in your Rolls will show off your cloud-like ride and hand-stitched leather that is top-notch. There's just no other way to say it other than it's the best of the best. But it could be bought for less than a new Camry.
Say what?
A Rolls shows off the peak of luxury, but it isn't all that sporty. So if you want not only luxury, but also sportiness, you gotta check out the Maserati GranTurismo. The Maserati GranTurismo is the only Italian car on this list, and that's because most aren't even worth the headache if you got a brain. But the GranTurismo sure is, and just look at this thing. Both the interior and exterior are styled to perfection, creating a blend of Italian supercar looks and an Italian hand-stitched interior. But the best part is definitely that exhaust note. That's thanks to the Ferrari-derived V8. While you won't want to be driven around like in the Rolls, the Maserati GranTurismo is best enjoyed behind the wheel. And while you might think that it will cost an arm and a leg, it's only going to cost you an arm. A GranTurismo costs less than a brand new Prius. So for less than 23 grand, you get yourself a fast and luxurious Maserati. What's not to love? The only reason I can think of it is that a GranTurismo isn't all that practical. Luckily, a Cadillac Escalade is very practical and within budget. If you're looking to look rich and cheap, well, Cadillac Escalade is just that, a cheap vehicle that will make you look rich. Thanks to celebrities in the early 2000s, the Escalade has been a staple for people that have made it in life, which has made the Escalade a status symbol of the rich and famous. There's something about its blocky styling and rumbling V8 that make it appeal to these people. And luckily, the Escalade goes years without a design refresh. So that means that you can get one that is a good bit older, but have it look years newer. And depreciation has hit this little bugger because Escalades trade hands for a fraction of their original price, which is good for you and me because we can pick them up for 20 grand all day. And an Escalade has room for you and 7 of your friends, so you know it's practical as well. But an Escalade might just be a little bit too big. And if that's the case, you might want to look at a Jaguar XJL. The Jaguar XJL is the most opulent, expensive, luxurious Jaguar ever made. Originally, the XJL had a base price of well over 100 grand. But if you were optioning it out, it could reach the 150K mark. And that was for good reason, because the XJL is the epitome of luxury. It's not only got heated seats and coolers, but also massagers. And since it's no standard Jag, the XJL takes the already a stately XJ and adds 5 inches to the rear, making legroom for passengers, well, more comfort plus than just economy. The pristine interior is paired with a timeless design, and the entire package can be had today for just 17 grand. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a bargain if you ask me. It has depreciated nearly 90%. It may be British engineering and design at its best for a sedan. But what about an SUV? Well, you might go with a Range Rover Sport, like Trav. Range Rovers, they've been around for decades, and each and every single one sticks to a winning formula, one that prioritizes design and luxury. And if you've seen one, you'll know exactly what I mean, because they are drop-dead gorgeous and super supple on the interior. New Ranges can cost over 200 grand, which entices celebrities who want to just drop a ton of dough. And that's not saying a lot. While Range Rovers are known for their all-out luxury, the Sport model adds a bit of exhilaration flair to the mix. But instead of dropping 100 grand on a new one, you could go ahead and pick one up that's just 10 years old for a hair over 13 grand. But most people decide to stay away from the British bruisers because they aren't exactly known for their reliability.
Giggity, 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 ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah.
Yeah, if you want the bones of a luxury SUV that's also sporty and reliable and cheap, then look no further than a Porsche Cayenne. The Porsche Cayenne, and not the Pepper, was Porsche's first step away from sports cars, and they put together a solid option right out of the gate. Aiming directly at the likes of Range Rover and the X5 Bimmers, the Cayenne proved that you can combine luxury, utility, and a sporty driving experience in something that didn't have to break down every 100 miles. The German engineers at Stuttgart knew that they were making an SUV, but it still had to have that Porsche DNA. And guess what? They nailed it. You could get a V6 or you could get a turbo pumping out 400 horsepower. And if you're trying to be baller on a budget, well, they've depreciated a ton. I mean, you can pick up a V6 model for just over 10 grand and then lift it, put some hella lights on it, and go rip in the dunes. So the Porsche Cayenne might be perfect for the weekend warrior that wants to look rich, and it might be the best bargain SUV for ballers. But if you're not looking for an SUV and you'd rather have yourself a luxury sedan, then consider the Mercedes C-Class. Mercedes is known to be one of the top luxury brands for the entire world, and for good reason. I mean, most Mercedes are meticulously manufactured up to the highest standards in the industry. And it could be said that they are the standard of luxury. So it's no surprise that a Mercedes finds itself on this list. And one of the best cheap cars to make you look rich is easily the Mercedes C-Class. For starters, they're built like tanks, and even though they might not be a range-topping S-Class, they share a good amount of features and most people won't even be able to tell the difference between the two. But your wallet sure will. Because you can get a C-Class for just $8,900. And for that kind of money, you're getting Mercedes luxury for used Camry prices. Take that, Toyota. Now, the thing that will scare you away from the Mercedes C-Class is the repair bills. As it is German, and you know what that means. Yeah. So, if you really don't want to spend that much on a car or repairs, then an Infiniti G35 probably is for you. Because the G35 never really found its footing. It was a luxury sedan with the underpinnings of a Nissan 350Z, but most people didn't understand it, as its looks rivaled the Germans, but its performance cemented it deep into sports car territory. And its interior was finished in soft, supple leathers. The G35 has a combination of everything that you could want, and in many cases, it could be the only car that you need to own. The G35 may be the best car that is cheap enough for almost anyone to own, but also versatile enough to satisfy the majority of needs of anyone. The problem was that the G35 was the new kid on the block, and it cost more than the German rivals. Today, that is not the case, because you can find them all day long for less than $8 grand. Which you should definitely go check out these ideal deals on the Auto Tempest, which I've linked down below. So, while the Infiniti G35 sedan is the cheapest on our list, is it the best cheap car to make you look rich? Well, we here at Ideal think that Cayenne is the golden ticket. So, let us know which one you think is the baller budget vehicle of the year down in the comments below. Also, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. I'm Brad. This is Ideal. Check out our Ideal vid up here or what YouTube recommends you watch next down here. Oh, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.